Hi, I'm Shahar.
And I'm Nash, and we're with BuzzBooster.tv.
You know, today we are in Logan. We are 1 hour away from a speaking engagement, so we decided to stop here and talk to you a little bit.
Yes, it was so beautiful around. This would be perfect for our show.
Yeah, I love it here. It's
yes,
so peaceful.
me too.
You know, what we want to talk to you today is about something that we see happening over and over and over. That people keep marketing their business. They try to use different tools, offline and online, but they don't see results.
No.
And then they kind of they start feeling lost, and they don't know what they are doing wrong.
Yeah, and then they get discouraged, and then they just say it doesn't work, and they give up.
Yeah, but you know, most of the times the problem is not the tool that you're using. There are 3 things that you have to think about before you even start using these tools. You need to think if you have them and if they are strong enough. We call this the PAT model, P-A-T model. Well, the first thing is positioning. Do you have a strong positioning? Meaning that, do you really know which business you're in, who you're talking to, and how you stand out in the market? Because if you don't, it gets really hard for people to pay attention. Which is the second thing. Are you getting attention from your market? You know, the funny thing with social media is today?
What?
That you get a lot of visibility. And people mistaken that with getting attention. The fact that you're visible in the marketplace doesn't mean that people are paying attention.
Right.
Especially now with so much noise, so much competition out there. You have to make sure you get attention from your market. And there are really 7 steps that you need to think about, and I'm going to tell them really fast. First, you have to have a resistible promise. You need to unveil your core story so there is connection and engagement with the market. You need to find your unique voice, your way of saying things. Then you need to create mystique, mystery in your business so people really get hooked to you. Be uber present, and that's when social media comes in place, and create rituals and increase the level of trust. Simple things that you can do to get a lot of attention from the market. And the last one?
And the last one is T, traction.
You need to get traction with the market, meaning that people are not only interacting with you, they are buying from you over and over again and referring you to other people. Without these 3 things, really nothing happens.
Right. So remember, positioning, attention, traction.
Yes, and go get those in place and then decide what kind of tools you're going to use.
Absolutely.
Okay, we had a case study to show today, right?
Yes, we do. It's a chef in Hawaii.
Yeah, and what did he do?
Well, he combined, basically, they found the restaurant in a rut, and because of the economy, things weren't that good. And he said, well, what can I do to bring in more people? So he started using Twitter and Flickr, and he would take pictures of his desserts. He'd make these pastry chef.
He was the pastry chef.
Yeah.
He was not even the owner of the restaurant.
No, he's just a guy who worked there. He would take pictures of the desserts that he would make, and they were beautiful. And then he'd post them on Twitter, and he'd say, "Hey, this dessert of the day is macadamia nut, da 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 da," and he'd give the description and post it. Next day, he would do the same thing with the different desserts, on and on and on. Well, he started getting a lot of buzz, and in the end, a lot of people started coming over to his restaurant as a result of that.
So the restaurant went from being almost empty to having lines on its door, and it happened in a matter of 2 or 3 months only.
Yeah.
Just by combining 2 very simple tools. Flickr to post the pictures, and Twitter to talk about the desserts.
He would talk about it, and of course with a call to action, inviting people to come over.
Yeah, it's a simple thing that anybody can do.
That's right.
Why don't you try something like that?
Yes.
And what about our tool today?
Well, so social media can be a little overwhelming, especially because, well, number one, it's like you said in the beginning, people don't really know if it's working, they don't know where to start, really, because they don't have the positioning in place and all that. But here's the thing. It's good to outsource. It's good to get the tools and outsource. And one place that we found that works great for outsourcing is a website called Fiverr, Fiverr.com. And basically, it's a website with the things people do for $5.
Yeah.
That's the amount that you can pay, only $5, and you go there and you find people to do different things. Now, some of the things are very silly, but other things are actually quite useful. Like, for instance, we've had several of our clients using it, and one guy just used Fiverr to get his business card made. Someone else used Fiverr to get some research done on different case studies for their business.
An update of a page.
Updating a web page.
Even posting the pictures on Flickr.
Fixing a problem on your blog.
Or
and things
posting
like that.
tweets for you if you don't want to do that yourself.
Exactly. So Fiverr.com, check it out. The things people do for $5.
So, you know, you have all the tools today. You know that you need a strong positioning, attention from the market, and traction from the market in order to really start selling. You also saw a case study using Twitter and Flickr. And then we told you how to outsource.
That's right.
What could be better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll see you next week because I'm freezing here.
So am I.
It's so cold you have no clue. Okay, see you next time.
See you next time.